So I always say that for the members of the panel here who are closer to me. Okay, so at Aruba, we build essentially enterprise Wi-Fi infrastructure. The key parts of our business are mobility, security, and Wi-Fi. And that's really what we focus on. So we're building predominantly indoor networks, predominantly dense networks, where you're putting up many, many access points pretty close together and providing coverage for people going about their daily business in the enterprise. And that's up to date, being predominantly laptop-based, perhaps, or PC-based. I would say that maybe 30% of our customers are serious voice users today. That would cover hospitals and hotels, would cover retail, and some university use. And a lot of that has been in the, what I call the single mode voice, the single mode Wi-Fi phone. That is a phone that works on the Wi-Fi network, but not anywhere else. Something where you'll come to work in a store, pick up your phone, you'll work with it for that day, and then you put it down at the end of the shift, and you go home. What we've been seeing over the last few years is the emergence of these dual mode phones. And that really is what's got everyone excited here. It's been coming through for probably 3 years now. And the message that I'm trying to give today is very much that we're on the edge of having something that's very, very usable and workable. Still a few rough edges, but if you look back 18 months ago, it's amazing what we managed to do with even more rough edges, and things are getting better all the time. So we're right on the edge of being able to do some very, very interesting things with these client devices. And in this industry, as in a lot of others, it's the client that you have to wait for. That's the tail that wags the dog, if you want to think of it that way. May not be a good analogy here. So that's what's been happening in the business. So predominantly what I'm going to talk about today is some fairly detailed Wi-Fi spec sort of things, which I think will be probably a bit different from what the rest of the panel will talk about. I didn't want us all to be talking about the same thing. From our point of view, we're looking at how to take a dual mode phone, a phone that has a cellular capability and a Wi-Fi capability, and make it do something useful in your hands, the user's hands. And there's a whole lot of things that could be useful. And one of the things that I believe is going on in the business today is that we're discovering what's really valuable and what people like me think is pretty neat, but maybe the end user, the people who are in the end paying for this, don't value so much. So we have to get the right mix of features here and the right combination of features. So one of the first things that's very interesting here is that when you go into fixed mobile convergence based on the enterprise, this is something where you're going to have a PBX or some sort of voice processing on the enterprise, and you're going to connect through that down over your Wi-Fi network to the Wi-Fi side of the phone. And then when the phone goes out into the cellular world and you don't have Wi-Fi anymore, it's still got that cellular number that you're used to, but you also try to reach it by going through generally cellular data, but there are other ways to do it, and anchor it back to that PBX. So there are two numbers at play here. There's a number which is the cellular number of the phone, and we cannot hide that too easily when we're in cellular with enterprise-based FMC. And then there is the PBX DID number, which you're probably going to want to be your primary number here. So the idea, the concept, is that someone calls your desk phone number, if you like, and that number will get directed to the Wi-Fi side of the phone if you're in the building, and will get directed to the cellular number if you're out of the building. So it's a one number reach, single number reach system here. Sorry about that. Call admission controls, I pointed out, becomes less and less of a problem as you get from 11B to 11G and then 11N, because we get more and more bandwidth in each cell, so you get more calls before you hit the ceiling. Handover, there's quite a lot of work going on, and we're very active in Wi-Fi Alliance on this. Dorothy Stanley from Aruba and some others are working hard on this new voice over enterprise certification. And the security part of that is a big issue. So today you can get very, very fast handover with low security, but the key is how do you make sure it's both secure and fast? As I say, we're under normal conditions, we're at this 50 millisecond limit, which is where we like to be, but there are still too many conditions for us, too many cases where conditions are not ideal, and we're a bit over that. Solutions for E911 and emergency calls in the voice over Wi-Fi world, but there are no standards-based universal solutions, in my opinion, at the moment. So we have work to do there. And the more Wi-Fi gets out there, the more we'll be able to solve the coverage issues. Most of the coverage that I'm talking about here is just where your area of contiguous coverage is relatively small. Particularly as we go around hot spots, hot zones, we'd like to see those increase a great deal.